Hello arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Tonight we're going to be discussing more so like console games and a little bit of iiRcade. I've got a little bit of Arcade 1-Up, but I'm actually going to start the show with Zelda because I've been spending most of my time with Zelda this week. I've probably put in, I would say like 15 or 16 hours this week into Zelda. It's like a non-stop, endless game, it feels like. So I'm going to start the chill and chat with that, but I've also got some Arcade 1-Up deals, and I've got some iiRcade discussion as well. So let's go ahead and get it going. I want to say hi to everyone that's made it in the chat. We'll start here at the top. Carl O, it's good to see you, Carl. He's saying that Texas legend Biggie D returns for chill and chat number 25, live from Arizona. Be there or be square. I always say be there or be square when there's like a live stream, and I share it on my community post, and I guess he caught that and used it. Andy's Game Room, evening all. Good to see you, Andy. Glad you made it. And Goofy Foot's here. Good to see you, Goofy. Atran as well. Good to see you, Atran Fanatic, here local to Arizona. And Endangered Dog, what's up? Good to see you, Endangered Dog. Happy you're here. And Papa Brad's Gaming has made it as well. Good to see you, Papa Brad. And hopefully we've got a walk-in sock coming up today or tomorrow. Really been enjoying those walk-in socks you've been doing. Bad Guy Mike Worley, definitely check his channel out. He's got a really good video he put up today. It's about Arcade 1-Up drama, but it kind of makes it more fun of it and more lighthearted, more enjoyable type take on the drama. And it's WWF with Macho Man Randy Savage and an interview. It's really good if you guys haven't checked it out. Very impressed. I feel like Mike Worley, his videos are getting better and better. And PD7 is here as well. Good to see you, PD7. Been really enjoying your walk-in talks and all the speculation you have on what may be coming from Arcade 1-Up, and just that I guess feeling or want to keep iiRcade going, and just being positive about it and not letting any negative things sway you in any way, and you just continue buying the games and being positive. John Phillips has made it as well. Good to see you, John Phillips. He says, I'm late, but I'm checking in. You're not that late. I just started probably about a minute or two ago, so it hadn't been long. Got here right in time. Atran Fanatic is also talking about Arizona representing. Where there's quite a few arcade content creators or just home arcade community members that live in the Arizona or the Phoenix area, I've realized. A lot of just Arcade 1-Up enthusiasts and arcade enthusiasts in Arizona. I don't know if it's the weather or what it is about it. They just seem to all want to live here. Carl O, hi Phil and Miss Lucky. Hope she's feeling feeling okay tonight. Talking about, I believe Phil's cat is called Lucky. And Steps Gaming, hello. I was awakened this weekend. I need to play more modern indie games. Why spend so much time playing the old stuff? And I'm kind of feeling you on that, Steps. I've got some iiRcade content or discussion lined up tonight, and it's about Mayhem Brawler, which is a modern beat-em-up game. And I'm feeling that, I'm all about more of the modern type games right now on my iiRcade. I am still playing some of the retro games, but I do like how it gives you a little bit of difference, and you can change it up a little bit by getting some more modern games on your arcade. Very different experience than playing the retro 80s, 90s games, or even early 2000s when you're playing these modern beat 'em ups, modern retro games. Harry X is here. What up, dude? Good to see you, Harry X. Glad you've made it tonight. Got a good show lined up. And Darren Kane is from New York City. He's representing New York City tonight. Good to see you, Darren. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the discussion tonight. I'm going to start with Tears of the Kingdom. Like I said, I've been just putting tons of time into this game whenever I have free time. It's probably not responsible to put so much time into one game or spend so much time playing a game, but I've waited, 4 or 5 years for this game to come out. So, it's just build up, between Breath of the Wild and the time it took to get to this game. And it's just, I'm kind of releasing that all now by just playing it as much as I can. And it's very creative game, very engaging game. There's so much you can do within it. There's probably so much within this game that the developers didn't even think of when they created it. And they're now realizing that with what they're seeing and what people are creating and what people are doing in this game. It's just really amazing what they've accomplished. And it's not the greatest graphics by any means. I'll put on my PS5 right after playing this game and I'm kind of like, oh man, this doesn't look very good. But it doesn't take away from the experience at all. It's just that well crafted, that well of a developed game. And just been really enjoying it. So I wanted to kind of start with that and discuss it a little bit, maybe get some comments in the comment section in the chat on what they're thinking about in regards to Zelda. But let's take a look at this quick promotional video. It's only like 30 seconds long and just kind of shows off a little bit more of this game. So there you guys can see it. I mean, you're looking at, it's a 10 out of 10 from pretty much all the reviewers. There's just, like, this game is perfect. I mean, there just really isn't much more they could have done with the Switch and the hardware and the capability of that hardware on the Switch. They have made a masterpiece out of like an older handheld, older technology. I mean, the Switch has been around now since when? I think it was like 2017 is when it came out. So the system is almost 5-6 years old now, and it's just putting off a really incredible game, very deep and very long game. I mean, this game probably could put 100-120 hours into it easily before you beat it. But let's kind of see what some of the people in the chat here have to say about it. If anyone's been playing it, let us know. Atran Fanatic says, I moved to Arizona in '88 due to my parents, and I was 13 at the time, so not much choice. Laughing out loud. Plus, now that my house is paid off, since early 2021, I'm stuck here. And I'm actually thinking Atran maybe moving up north a little bit to get out of the heat. I went up to Flagstaff about a week ago, and I really enjoyed the cooler weather up there. The heat is the only thing about this area that I don't like. Carlo said Mayhem Brawler is a great game. I'll be playing Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons on my ALU next month. Been looking at that game, looks really good. And let's see here. PD7 was saying, I saw you were having car issues on Fox's show. Hope it gets fixed. And Steps Gaming says, I can play that game without having to cook and make things. I just want to play the game. I tried Breath of the Wild, and I just didn't feel like it did the older Zelda games, and I feel and I hear what you're saying, Steps. It's nothing like the previous Zelda games. It's like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom is often its own category of Zelda games, pretty much in the way that you play them and what's all involved in the game. Papa Brad's Gaming says, who is Zelda? So Zelda is the princess you're trying to save. Link is the main character, the one that you're playing. But however, they always call the game Zelda. They never call it Link. And Thor is saying that his wife is from Arizona and they have paid off all of his Transformers. We're like twinsies. And Headshake TV says, my daughter Ava says hi. But a little bit about this game, guys, and I'm kind of just showing this video, and I'm going to kind of give some commentary on this video. So a lot of what you're doing in this game is you're making like boats, planes, cars, things to get across this open world. And this open world is massive. It's it could like if you went from one side to the other side on foot, it would probably take you like an hour to get to the other side. That's how big it is. And then you have different levels. So you have like a sky area, which is its own world. You have the main world, and then you have underground and even another world that I've found, which is kind of kind of like I don't know what is going on down there. I went down there and came right back up, but there's at least 3 different levels, and these are all, each level is a different world. So you got probably like, you know, hours just to get across each one of these worlds. So you have to make these different vehicles, whatever they may be, and it's up to you and how you want to create them and how you want to use them. So when the developers created this game, they had in their mind like what they're going to use in order to get around, and what's best going to get them to these various places you need to go. But what I've seen and what other people have realized, that there's things that have been created, things that people that are doing that were never thought of whenever they developed the game. So it's very interesting. It keeps you really engaged, and it's endless because you just never get tired of what you're doing. There's just so much replay value, and it almost makes you not want to beat the game because you want to continue creating. You want to continue exploring and opening and unlocking all these different things that you can do. But like, for instance, this video here is showing how those fans can bring you up in the air. And I didn't know that until I had watched this video. So the next time I log on to Zelda, I'm going to start using the fans in that way and going up. I was just using them to like go across the water or go from left to right, not to necessarily go up. So there's so much I still have to learn, but it is a ton of fun. And what I'm more focused on right now, starting out, because the world is so big, is I'm more focused on unlocking the shrines. So you have shrines throughout this entire world, and there's, I think, over 100 or so of those, and I've unlocked about 13. And each shrine has its own puzzle involved in that shrine that you have to unlock and figure out. And a lot of people will just go up and they'll look up YouTube videos for each shrine and just kind of get through them that way. But I haven't been doing that. I've only done that on one shrine that got me really frustrated. But other than that, the other 12 or so that I've unlocked, I've done on my own. Some of them take me, you know, 2 or 3 minutes. You instantly figure out the puzzle. Some of them literally take like 30 minutes to an hour to figure out. And you have to be really patient with some of them. Or you can cheat and you can just go look up the video and figure it out that way. But right now I'm just focused on the shrines. Once I get through that, I'll start doing other things within the game, side quests, main quests, and then fighting like these dragons that are throughout the game and stuff. So it's just really incredible game. It's not too much in line with the home arcade community, I don't think, as much as, you know, some of the other discussion I do, but this is just something that I really enjoy. It's something I've been spending a ton of time on, and I feel like for my channel and my chillin' chats and all that to be authentic and real, I have to tell you what I'm really doing and what I'm really enjoying, which is this game. So let's go ahead and move on here. I want to move on to Arcade 1-Up because I know that's a lot of the reason why people watch my channel and many other channels, is our interest mainly lies in home arcades. We do play consoles. We do play console games a lot. I do a lot. But my channel is focused on home arcade. That's what my channel is going to spend most of my time discussing. And what I wanted to start with tonight on home arcade and Arcade 1-Up was the limited time deal. So this is a Father's Day special sale that Arcade 1-Up is running right now. That's going to run until, I believe, after Father's Day. So you're going to have some time here to make some decisions on whether or not you feel like now's the right time to purchase. And I'd noticed my screen just froze there. Hopefully that didn't happen again. But the deal isn't that great, guys. The deal is $50 off. So if you've been looking at the deluxe cabinets, the special that they're running is just a straight $50 off the MSRP price. So if you're looking at the Arcade 1-Up Class of 81 Deluxe Arcade 1-Up cabinet, is $50 off, coming in at $449.99 right now. Pac-Man as well is $449.99, $50 off. But I told you guys when these Pac-Mans came out, it would not be long before we would start seeing discounts and we'd start seeing lower prices. And it wasn't. I mean, it was within, what, 2 months? We're already at $50 less. And I don't see anyone, after seeing this $449 price, paying $500 after this sale ends. So the prices will continue to drop. I mean, the 450 will become the common price, and then it'll be 400 and so on. And I think by like Black Friday, we could be looking at these at like $299, $349 in that price here towards the end of this year. MK2 Deluxe is also $449. Of these three, I think the MK2 Deluxe is probably the best cabinet. It's got the best games, and it's got the online multiplayer, which they've also improved with the input lag patch. So now the online fighting is actually a lot of fun, and even the people that are really competitive in Mortal Kombat are saying now it's a good experience, and they're happy after the update. So I think that just fuels the reason to buy this cabinet even more, with the online getting better. Still not perfect, still doesn't have the lobby, still doesn't have the spectate, but it does have at least the input lag fix. Now, another deal that I had found, this is different than the sale that we see going around for Father's Day on the deluxe cabinets. This is also not even a Best Buy exclusive. This is just an Arcade 1-Up countercade, because I've been looking at Arcade 1-Up countercades for the 1K giveaway. So when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to purchase an Arcade 1-Up countercade, and I'm going to give it away. So I've been, doing some shopping and keeping track of these, and I'd found this one today, so I wanted to mention it as like just a side deal, that it is at $179.99 at HSN right now for the Mortal Kombat 2 countercade. And Atran's talking about congrats to Michael B on him getting his dream pinball Godzilla machine. That is pretty incredible that those things run like $10,000, $12,000. I am way out of the market on one of those right now. Jason M's here. Good to see you, Jason M. Happy to see you're here. Thor KC, he said, yeah, I'm paying extra on the mortgage is what'll happen as soon as I figure out how to stop buying arcades to put me in it. And let's see here if anyone's got any deal discussion. Thor said MK Deluxe for $450 is a decent deal, but yeah, Father's Day is obviously not the best price of the year. Yeah, these aren't the best prices, but they're doing something at least. They're giving us some type of deal, some type of savings on a pretty new cabinet, very new cabinet, you could say. Now, one thing I did notice is I thought, maybe all the deluxes we would get the $50 off, but I had noticed that Fast and the Furious is not getting that $50 drop. And that's probably because, it just came out, a month ago, not even a month ago. So they're probably holding the line on that one, wanting the full $599. But they could have very well easily done the $549.99, and it would have been, that would have pushed sales a little more, and they wouldn't have lost too much money. So I'm surprised that they went with the full price on Fast and the Furious this weekend and this next week. And Octoman PC says, I'm about to convert an MK2 Deluxe to a WWF WrestleMania. That would be cool. I've seen a lot of people doing a lot of modifications and mods to make theirs the WrestleMania cab. We've heard a lot of talk about a WrestleMania cab by Arcade 1-Up, but there's just so many licensing issues involved with that. It's going to make it really difficult. And is the end product going to be worth it? Is it going to be enough of a WrestleMania cab to give you that nostalgia or that nostalgic feeling? Papa Brad's Gaming says MK2 Deluxe becomes a buy for me when it's under $300, and that's right. I think $299 Black Friday, it's possible. More than likely $349 though is what I'm guessing. But even at $349, I may pull the trigger. I don't have a Mortal Kombat yet, so like when I'm doing this kind of shopping, I'm doing it for you guys out there because I want you guys to have the up-to-date pricing, but I also am doing shopping for myself, but I'm more looking out, not buying in the next week or month. I'm looking at buying around Black Friday. So this is like my pre-Black Friday shopping that I'm doing when I do this. And Atrium Fanatic says, I am pretty set on picking up a T2 A1-Up and converting it into a flight cabinet, not revealing the theme until it's finished though. And Steps Gaming says, isn't that MK Countercade the one I got for $17.99? That would be really cool if you got it at $17.99, $17.99. That's incredible. Show Me Retro, what's up, Biggie? Congrats on the KI deal. Thank you. I'm really happy with this KI cabinet at 150. Surprisingly, though, since I did my review and all that, I haven't played it. I've got so much time invested right now into Zelda. I just haven't really even had a chance to play it much yet. But I am planning on getting into the online portion of KI and doing a review on that here very soon. Oh, also, Show Me Retro. I saw your video on Arcade 1-Up and the Robotron 2084. I didn't leave a comment. I liked it, though, but I really liked how you did your video out kayak fishing. I thought that was really cool. I do a lot of SUP or stand-up paddleboarding, and I was thinking about how can I do that and have the microphone and the video, and, you know, because a lot of that stuff I use isn't waterproof. Water resistant maybe, but not waterproof. Steps Gaming says, yeah, I sold these countercades for $99, 99 cents each, and made a profit. And Bad Guy Mike Worley says, you got an MK countercade for $18. I want to know that as well. How did you do that? And Darren says the new Fast and the Furious movie has basically already come and gone, so any tie-in is eroding quickly. And that's a good point. You know, we got all the summer movies coming out. Fast and the Furious was a very poorly reviewed movie. I think it got like a 4 out of 10. So that movie didn't really help the sales of the Fast and the Furious cabinet much, like they were hoping. And Papa Brad's talking about how he can wait for the deals, and Biggie D does a great job keeping up on the deals. That is like my #1 goal with this channel. It's always been that way since the beginning, is to try to check the deals each morning and get them posted or make videos if it's worthy of that, and get that information out to you guys. And I'm also on West Coast time, so sometimes I'll wake up and people have already gotten the deals posted before I did. Or sometimes that works to my advantage, where I'll get the deal posted at night at like 12:30 my time, because some of these deals go live after 12 o'clock West Coast time. So I can get some of them posted ahead of time. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. And Papa Brad, Show Me Retro, your Yak and Talk was amazing. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, was that Yak and Talk. That was pretty cool. I like seeing the home arcade scene or the arcade scene, and we do videos outdoors, and we got to leave our element or where we're comfortable and try and do videos out and about like that. I think that's a lot of fun to watch. It also gets us outside. It gets us doing the things we enjoy while still creating content for everyone that wants to discuss and watch home arcade content. Thor KC goes, I am just finding somebody who wants Star Wars for $450 away from having a do-it-yourself $150 KI cab. And Atran saying, just a note, I'm a few miles from Starfighters Arcade across from Falcon Field in Mesa. So yeah, you're in a real good area there, Atran, and familiar with it. I'd moved from Mesa to this Glendale area, and I had saw a Facebook post by Starfighters this week, and it was all the different pinball machines. They have over 60 pinball machines there, and that post really made me want to get back over there and play those. Show Me really laid down the truth serum about nostalgia, and he appreciates that content. So the next thing I wanted to discuss was AtGames. So while we're discussing deals, I wanted to discuss this one because this is one that's been on my radar. I have it bookmarked, and I check it every single day. And this was the VIP outlet link I had told you guys about a few weeks ago on the Legends Pinball. And it was $4.99 on eBay through VIP outlet. But I've noticed now Walmart is listing VIP outlet. So you can actually buy it through Walmart. It'll still sell and ship through VIP outlet. But in my experience, Walmart's really good about getting your money back or getting you a return. Even if it's not sold or shipped by Walmart, they'll still help you. So if you just feel a little more comfortable purchasing through a major retailer like Walmart, you could do that with this one now. And I know this went down to $450. I think Carl O was the one who told me about it when it went down to $450. But that was only for like a day or two, I think. My price, my sweet spot is $3.99 on this one. So as soon as I see it drop to $3.99, I'm going to add it to cart and purchase. But this is on my radar. I'll be continuing to watch because a Legends pinball is in my future. I definitely want to get one. Whether I keep my arcade one-up one or not, I want to get one of these. And I think with the new 4K coming out, I can kind of use that and make sure that I get a good deal on this one. And I can buy the 4K one later on down the road. Show Me Retro was saying kayak fishing is the shit. I'll say it. Even though I try to keep the cuss words to a minimum on this channel, I don't even think shit's really a bad word. I hear it on local TV sometimes now. So close to the water, it's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoy the water. I'm from Texas, and I did a lot of paddle boarding, a lot of wake surfing, wakeboarding in Texas. Since I moved to Arizona, the lakes are harder to get to. They're not as accessible, but I still could go wake surfing if I wanted. I've talked to some people that do it out here, but I do enjoy taking my paddleboard out to the lake and just paddleboarding around out there. Haven't done a lot of fishing. Did a lot of fishing growing up, but I haven't lately. Carlos said, just hold the line for 4K pinball, folks. I have 2 ALPs and I love them, but get the 4K. And I'm there with you, Carl. I want to get the 4K. I know it's going to be like $1,500, and I'm just not in the market for something that expensive right now. I'm going to try and take advantage of getting a low price on one of these, maybe upgrading the board on it, and then looking at a 4K, you know, a few years from now. Atrian Fanatic, yeah, Starfighters is the shiz. Looking forward to when you meet up sometime in the future. Just need to take care of some important life things. Yeah, definitely let me know, Atrian. I've got you on Facebook, I think, and you can just message me there. Thor was saying, I'm with you, Biggie D. Watching the ALP closely. I want one, but money's tied up. $3.99 is the trigger point too. Yeah, we're very close. We're right there. If they can just drop that price another $90, I've seen it as low as $4.50, I'll get it. Papa Brad's Gaming says AtGames is building the Death Star in the background with the 4K pinball and the 4K arcade. And Carl O is saying that's the first run of the ALP. They blow out newer versions of ALP after 4K hits the streets. And Atran saying he was born in Garland, Texas. I was born in Plano, Texas. So we're not far from each other where we were born and where we live today. That's funny. And Goofyfoot, I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas. Been there many times. San Antonio is a great city. The boardwalk is a lot of fun. Sam's Arcade has made it. What's up, Carlo and Goofyfoot? Good to see you, Sam's. So next thing I wanted to discuss is still going to be AtGames, a little bit related. So something I've been thinking about this week is I've got this Wii U, and I bought a bunch of games for the Wii U, especially towards the end of its life cycle and the lifespan. I had purchased a bunch of games for it. A lot of the games that I have on it are successful games on the Switch, actually, like Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and all these other great games. Zelda Breath of the Wild I had played on this system, and I haven't actually unboxed it or played it in a couple of years. And I've heard through Steven at TechBuzz that if you don't play it, it could quit working. So I've been planning on unboxing it and getting it back out. And the reason I don't just like having consoles sitting around in the house is I have a dog, and there's a lot of dog hair. And so if I'm not going to play a system for long periods of time, I'll normally box it back up, keep it in better shape, just make sure it lasts longer. And but I've been planning on getting it back out of the box and playing it because I need to. I don't want it to just quit working because I wasn't playing it. So I was thinking, well, how can I unbox it, still enjoy it, still have fun with it? And I've been looking into the Sendin light guns. I've been looking into the Batocera light gun builds, but I'm just not ready to take the time and effort to do all that stuff right now, or the money to buy the Sendin gun. So I was like, how am I going to get my light gun fix on an iiRcade or arcade, right now? So I started looking into, you can just HDMI in pretty much anything you want into the AtGames Legends Ultimate, and there's a switch button where you can switch between the arcade screen and an HDMI in screen. So I basically will just plug my Wii into the ALU, hit a button, and it'll display the Wii U console. Now, one problem is the game deck will have to recognize, or the Wii U will have to recognize the game deck as a controller, and it uses Bluetooth. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. But that's okay, because my thought is I want to do light guns, right? So I have these Wii zappers, and they're okay. I mean, they do the job. They're fun, I guess. They get you that experience, right? But the way you hold it is just kind of awkward. The way you're shooting is just a little bit awkward. It's over long periods of time, it's kind of gets difficult to continue playing in the way that you hold these things. And like I remember I would play a lot and then I would put it down because I would just get tired of holding it. But it's all I've got right now. I'm going to look at some other Wii gun attachments because I haven't looked at these in 4 or 5 years. So maybe there's some new modern ones out there that I can buy that'll give me a better way of playing light gun games on the Wii. But then the games I'm going to play. So this is the first game I really got into when I started playing the light guns. And I would play these on my Wii U on just a small TV, like a 20-inch flat screen TV. But I just think being on the AtGames Legends Ultimate, having it plugged into there with the screen much higher and shooting at that will hopefully be a better experience for me. It'll give me more of an arcade experience. But I'll let you guys know when I try it out. Maybe I'll even get some video of it and make a video from it so you guys can see how it works. Hoping it works good and it plays good, but I'm looking forward to playing this game first. This is Resident Evil, The Umbrella Chronicles. This game I got really deep into. I got really far into it, but it's a difficult game. Some of the bosses are very hard to beat. And I remember I got stuck at a boss and I just kind of gave up. And that was about 3 years ago. So when I pick back up, I'll pick back up where I left off and hopefully continue on with this game and beat it. It's one that I really want to beat. I love Resident Evil. Now I also got this game, Resident Evil, The Dark Side Chronicles. And this is more of a modern one. This one was made, I think, 3 or 4 years after the Umbrella Chronicles game was. And it's more modern graphics, looks better, plays a little bit different in how the shooting is. I don't quite know if I like the shooting as much, but it does have more automatic weapons and stuff, which makes it better, makes it a little more enjoyable. But it also has the storyline to Code Veronica X in this one. And Code Veronica X is my favorite Resident Evil game. Just the story in that game's incredible, and it has that story, or it carries that story on in this Dark Side Chronicles. And I've just barely played this one. I've only played this one probably for about an hour. So I'm really looking to diving deep back into this game and beating it as well. And then last I have is the House of the Dead 2 and 3 Return. And this has House of the Dead 2 and 3 on it. And this one I purchased on eBay. And I never actually played it. So I'm really looking forward to playing House of the Dead on my ALU in this way. And I hope it ends up working good and is a lot of fun. I'll let you guys know when I do it. And Show Me Retro says, Biggie, you have been to the National Video Game Museum. So that's amazing. And I'm not sure, National Video Game Museum, what you mean, Show Me Retro. I'm been to the Pinball Hall of Fame. So you'll have to explain on that. And Atran says, I need to USB loader my Wii U like I did my Wii. Yeah, so I never had a Wii. I only had the Wii U. I skipped the Wii completely. But what I really liked about the Wii U is I can go back and play all those Wii games that I wanted or I never got a chance to play on the Wii U. And they look a little bit better and they play a little bit better on the Wii U too. USB Loader GX, he meant. Okay, so that must be a gun I can purchase for the Wii controller that may be better than these zappers, because the zappers aren't great. So I'll look into that one, USB Loader GX, see what that is. Sam says, I've been messing with the Neo Geo Stick Pro, got some gameplay coming soon, lots of Metal Slug and Samurai Showdown, so we'll have to check that out. Do like Metal Slug, one of my favorite arcade games. And Carlo says, me too, Sam. Super Dodgeball right now, as well as Turf Masters. Such great selections under Neo Geo. And Show Me Retro's talking about Dead Space Extraction. Oh, okay, here we go. Show Me Retro says, National Video Game Museum is in Frisco, Texas. Thought you may have visited. So this National Video Game Museum must be rather new, because I moved out of Texas about a year and a half ago. And I don't remember hearing or seeing the National Video Game Museum when I lived there in Plano. And this is something I feel like I would have seen or known about. So maybe it's newer, or maybe it has been around a while and I just totally missed it. But next time I visit Show Me Retro, I'm going to go there. I'm going to check that out. Because I'm going to go back for about a week here in the next month or two. I want to check that out. Atrin says, no USB loader GX is modding the Wii and the Wii U to put more games on them, as well as GameCube. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I haven't really got too much into modding my consoles. For whatever reason, I just like to keep them stock. I don't want to modify them or do anything like that, because I'm more keeping these as collectibles. Something I didn't do growing up was I didn't keep my Super NES or my Genesis or my Sega Saturn or my PlayStation. None of those things did I keep. I would take them to the video game store and I would trade them in. So if I, let's say, had a PlayStation 1, I would then trade that in as a credit so I could buy the PlayStation 2. And GameStop and a lot of these video game stores really got me over the years growing up, because I was selling these systems when I should have just kept them and saved a little bit more money and bought the new one. Because looking back on it, these systems are invaluable now, and I wish I would have kept them. But like my Wii U, my PlayStation 3, my Xbox One, I still have those systems, and I've got a lot of handhelds. I've got the 3DS, I've got the 3DS XL, and those I'm just trying to keep in as good a shape as I can, playing games on them here and there, and really keeping them as collectibles, though. And Atrian says the USB loader GX just saves wear and tear on your disk drives, and you can put your physical games on them as well. So that's pretty interesting. You got to worry about the drive as well on these systems going out. Now, the next thing I wanted to discuss with you guys is going to be Mayhem Brawler. So iiRcade has had a really rough, I guess, like week or couple weeks. We've had, them basically coming close to going out of business, moving out of their headquarters, moving into storage units. One thing I've been really happy with on iiRcade is they have kept the online servers up. So if you guys are still wanting to check your leaderboards, or you're still wanting to play your games online, you can still do that with the iiRcade, even though they don't have a home or a headquarters right now. So I was really impressed with that. And it gives me a little more hope that iiRcade can make it through this and, come out the other side still in business. Because that's a lot of the reason why we buy an iiRcade, is we buy the iiRcade so we can play the games online, we can compete on the leaderboards. And the fact that they're keeping all this stuff intact and still working while they're going through this transition or this move is really good. I think it's good for business. It's good for us as customers, and hopefully it'll keep them in business through this time. And I told you guys last Sunday during my Chillin' Chat 24 that I wasn't going to buy any games while they were on hold right now. I was going to just basically hold tight and save my money and not buy any iiRcade games until I know exactly what's going on and where they're heading. But I did end up not staying true to my word on that. I bought Mayhem Brawler the following day on Monday. And the reason why is it was half off. I'm a sucker for deals. This is a $20 game on Steam. It's a $20 game on Switch. And it was only $10 on my iiRcade. So it was half off. I was looking at the reviews. The reviews were amazing. Really good reviews on it. So I'm like, what the heck? Let's try it. Let's do the 30 minutes, see how it goes. And I was super impressed with this game. I was just amazed at how well this game looked and played on my iiRcade. And that's something I've realized also about my iiRcade. A lot of the games that I really like, the ones that I play the most, I never even knew were on the iArcade until I saw some video or some live stream where someone was talking about it. And when it really hit home and made me want to purchase the game was when I was watching Nix, Nix. He plays these games on live streams, and I watched him play it. I was really impressed with it on there. That's what made me try it. But I'm really happy I did. If you guys like Streets of Rage 4 and those modern looking graphics on a beat 'em up game, this is the game to get. It is looks just like Streets of Rage 4. It plays, I think, a little better even in the way that you do combos and the way you get through the game. It's also got a very unique way in which you play it where once you're dead, you're dead. So you get like 3 lives and that's it. And it's game over. But you can successfully get through the stages and it'll save where you're at in those stages. So you can kind of pick back up where you left off. But you'll always, if you die and it's game over, you'll always start at the beginning of that stage, not where you left off in that stage. Some people don't like that. I like it. I think it just adds more replay value. It makes it a little more competitive, a little more fun. And I like that aspect of it. It makes me want to come back and play it more that I have to start over. But it's definitely one to check out if you guys haven't already. I was going to show you guys here just this promotional video on it so you guys can see what it's about. I think this is a very short video, like a minute or a minute and a half. So we'll check it out.
And I'll send another team to the other location.
Drop the friggin' guitar and surrender. I can't.
They keep coming! I'm just warming up.
Hey GG, how's it going? Glad you made it. We're just discussing some Mayhem Brawler. This is a game I just purchased on the iArcade that I'm really enjoying. And you know, I told you guys I've been spending like 15, 16 hours maybe this week on Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Really haven't played much of anything else, but I did break away to play my iArcade at least 3 or 4 times this week, and each time I had played Mayhem Brawler. This one, it's just a ton of fun to pick up and play, and I'm at the boss with the guitar right now. Just trying to get past him at the moment, but I'm enjoying the challenge, and I like how hard it is. The game over doesn't bother me. The game over is what brings me back. Brooklyn Menace is saying get Dan Dara. And Carl O saying beat 'em ups are his jam. They really are. I saw a photo today, guys. I put it in the thumbnail where they were advertising, because this game's been out for a couple years now, but they were advertising this game during Halloween, and I thought it was really cool how they promoted it. They had all the characters in the Final Fight costumes. So all your Final Fight characters and what they wear, they in this promotion had them in those costumes. I thought that was really cool. And they had them sitting on an arcade cabinet. And if you guys look at the thumbnail, I added a marquee to the cabinet. But it's so cool how they market it as an arcade game, because really that's what this is. It is an arcade game. It is on consoles. It's on the Switch. It's on Steam. But it's meant to be played on an arcade cabinet. And that's why I think it's best to get it on the iArcade. That's the only way you're going to get to experience it on an arcade cabinet, unless you modify one with Steam or some way like that. Brooklyn said Dead Effect 2 is a good game, but very difficult to control. Papa Brad's Gaming says get the games you want, while they're on sale is my opinion on buying iArcade games. And that's true, but we got to be responsible also, Papa Brad, in the way we let everyone in this community or people that watch know about iArcade that they are having financial trouble. Sounds like they owe some back taxes. So they got a long road ahead. And are they going to make it? Who knows? You know, when we buy these games, we are buying them and we know we own them, but the online features and any leaderboards or online co-op, all that stuff could end. And there may be a point in which we can't buy any more games for iArcade. I don't want to let everyone think that, you know, it's all, everything's going well at iArcade headquarters, because it's not. I mean, we heard 19K Fox tonight talking about how it's the end of the road, that you might as well consider them out of business. I don't know how, much we can put into that, or if that's just his opinion. But it's getting close, and hopefully they make it. But I told you guys I wasn't going to buy any more iArcade games. I did buy one, bought this one, very happy with it. Even if iArcade went out of business, this is a game I could play long into the future for at least 2 or 3 more years and still get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And it'll always be a nice game to have on my arcade in my game room. We did get the recent update as well, this Witchcraft update, which is a newer update that was released on the other Steam and Switch console. So that we're still getting the updates as of now. And Carl O says this game rocks the house. Next is Double Dragon Gaiden, Rise of the Dragons on Steam to my ALU. And of course, Toxie is coming back, but not until 2024. And Lisa's Retro Lounge has joined us. Good to see you, Lisa. Hey, Biggie, been off here a few weeks, but just added your KI review to my watch list for later. That's awesome, Lisa. I'm glad you're checking that video out. I spent some time and effort on that, and I think the final review came out really good. I was very happy with the review and the final product. It will give you a good idea of what you're getting, and if you could have snagged that at $150, it was a steal. Papa Brad's Gaming says, complete your shmup library for sure. I play shmups. Shmups are fun, but I'm not can play endless shmups. They just kind of feel like a little corner of what I want in my home arcade. I like the fighters. I like the beat 'em ups, sports games. I like them all. Gigi says, hi, Biggie. I think the iArcade will be fine. Why would they waste Glenn's time on the swappable deck? And that brings up a good point. Glenn spent a lot of time and effort developing that game deck and that control panel. They've got to have something up their sleeve here. Maybe they're making it sound worse than it is. Jason M says there's no guarantee of any of that. Mickey is talking here about, I think people have to run out of things to talk about, so they're speculating about the iArcade going out of business. Been speculating on this for a while. Yeah, it started, I guess, a couple of months ago with Michael B's stream, and then things were heading up and looking up, and we had the Operation Wolf announcement, the Operation Thunderbolt, then we had the Glenn's control panel, and everything was looking really good. But that was all for show. That was just, there was so much going on behind the scenes we didn't know about. And we just learned about that a little over a week ago. So we'll see how things go. Atran says your KI review was great, man. I appreciate that. Reviews are something I definitely want to focus on, because I think in order to have a successful channel, doing these live streams and community type stuff like this are great. But those evergreen videos, the ones that people will go back and they'll rewatch, a year or 2 years from now, those are the videos that are really going to grow your channel in the long run and just make you more successful. Also, it brings more to the viewer. You guys as the viewer are getting a better product, a better overall experience, a more well-rounded experience when you watch me, because you're not just getting the live streams, you're not just getting the gameplay live streams, the news, but you're also getting reviews, product reviews. So you're seeing another opinion on a product from someone else. Carlo says Lisa should come to Cleveland Gaming Convention. Everyone is going. I'm going to Cleveland. Actually, funny you bring that up, Carlo, because I had a mix-up with my American Airlines flight this week, where they sent me an email on Friday, and I had a nonstop to Cleveland, and then I had a nonstop back to Phoenix. And they sent me an email on Friday saying they changed my flight to send me to Chicago for a layover there, and then to send me to Dallas for a layover there on the way home. And I called them up and said, let's cancel this. And they've already refunded me my money. And I got a flight through Frontier, 2 nonstop flights through them. And it was less money. I saved like $35 in the end. So it all worked out. But American Airlines customer service, I do not give them a good grade. They have really gone downhill. And I'm not going to get too much into that because it'll just make me upset when I start talking about it. But I did not have a good experience with American Airlines customer service. Steps Gaming says iiRcade would have very low cost to continue selling to the current base, or if someone else made the cabinets. That's a good point, Steps. I mean, how long could they go with just selling games to us, the people that have already bought cabinets? They have no headquarters. They just work from home, and they keep bringing us games. How long could they stay in business? Would it be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? Could they go that long? And maybe would there be better opportunities come up for the company during that time? That's all good questions. I think that is definitely possible. They could stick around for a long time, just selling the games to the people that already have cabinets. I hope so. I want them to stay in business. Everyone who owns an iiRcade wants that, I think. Mickey says, 19K Fox is talking about one-ups on QVC. We need new material for content. So, yeah, that's a good point, Mickey. Arcade 1-Up is slowing down. The new releases are slowing down. If iiRcade goes out of business, we're not going to have a ton of talk about. AtGames doesn't put out a lot of stuff that often. Even though they make a quality product, they don't put out a lot of news and exciting news at that. So there's going to be a lot of change, I think, in channels and home arcade in general, in what we're spending our focus and time on. And that'll be something for me. Like when I start talking consoles, I'm not the best on consoles. I've been following these home arcades for the last 3 years, 4 years, not too focused on consoles. So it'll be tough for everyone if everything slows down. But my thought, and I had talked to P-Dubs on the phone this week, and I told him this, I think we're just going through like you go up the hill, you go back down. We're going down the hill right now. But I think right before Cleveland Gaming Convention in September, that's when everything's going to start heading right back up. And Cleveland will be like the summit of the mountain because the 4K pinball, the 4K Legends Ultimate will be out. Hopefully Arcade 1-Up will have another release or two by then. Big Buck Hunter, Wheel of Fortune, maybe another one comes. And then hopefully iiRcade's doing well by then. iiRcade's going to be at the Cleveland Gaming Classic Convention. And maybe they've got something big they can show off and get the excitement back up for them. So I think everything's slowing down right now. We're having to find out new things to talk about to fill the time. But I think that's all going to change, in August. I think it'll start ramping back up in August. And September will be like the highlight of the year. I think that's when we're going to see all the big news, all the big, products that we've been waiting on. And let's see here. Biggest Party Ever says content is stale because release schedules this year is so damn slow. Yep, biggest party ever. That's exactly how I feel, and I think that's what's happened is that everything's just so slow. Arcade 1-Up is just bringing out, we're used to them bringing out tons of products. Every month we get a new product, and it just hasn't been that way this year. And they kind of drive home arcade, and with their slower releases, that's put a hamper on things. And then iiRcade, with their news, it just kind of slows things down even more. Mickey says, Atram Fanatic again. I like 19K Fox. I think I'd already read that one, or maybe that was a response to another one. Brooklyn Menace says the whole community is being duped and are so eager to spread this information, but what they really should be doing is investigating the source. So I think I know what you're talking about, and that may be in relation to the taxes. And that's why I'm not going to give any opinion on taxes with iiRcade or anything like that, because in reality, that's not something that we know about or have much factual information on. And you're kind of walking on eggshells with that. It's, there's a lot of legal ramifications, and there's just so much involved in taxes. That's not something I think we in the home arcade community should be getting into. Let iiRcade deal with that stuff. We could say their finances aren't doing good. I think that's a good way to put it. They're in a bad financial position right now, but what they owe on taxes and all that stuff, I'm not going to comment on that. Atran says, no, I hear you, man. I wasn't mad at you or anything, laughing out loud, but looking forward to 19K Fox's arcade room videos. I am too. I'm looking forward to seeing his new home and what he's done with that, and how his arcade's going to look when it's finished, because the one that he had in his basement before was incredible. So I know with this new space and extra space, he's just going to come up with an incredible looking game room for us to see and, watching his videos. Step says Evo 2023, Capcom versus SNK 2. People don't want to believe, but UAG basically promised it, and he and John are best buddies. I did watch your video, Steps, on the Capcom versus SNK 2. Definitely very possible. Very good game. I think we see Street Fighter 3, though, before we see that game. I think we see Street Fighter Alpha before we see that game also. That's just my opinion. And that's just looking at finances, like what's going to sell the best? What are the most units that they're going to use the most recognizable name for that? And yes, Capcom brings in, people will recognize Capcom, but SNK, it's not as popular. I mean, it is a very popular game, very good game, very good company, developer. But it's not as recognizable as Street Fighter or Capcom. So I think we're seeing Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, or Street Fighter Alpha first. And Sam's Arcade says console content comes with it. And Show Me Retro says, just do what content makes you happy, Biggie. And that's what I'm trying to focus on, is just doing what I enjoy in my life and what I like and what I'm following and what news I think I enjoy, and then using and expressing that on my channel. Because a YouTube channel does best, I think, when you're real, authentic, and you're being yourself. Yeah, there's channels out there where people are playing a role and they're being a different person. They're actually acting. And that's not what I do on my channel. This is like a real, kind of like a look into my life and my gaming life when you guys watch my channel. And Atran Fanatic, I'm just focused on modding my arcade one up on my channel. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is Street Fighter 6. So on one of my chill-in chats, I guess it was probably about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, we started getting some really exciting news on Street Fighter 6. And the colors on this game were really vibrant, really artistic looking in the way that it looked. I'm a huge Street Fighter fan, so I was really pumped for Street Fighter 6, and I still am. I'm still watching it very closely. I watched a little bit of B-Kong's live stream earlier before mine started, even to kind of get a little more information on this game. And leading up to the release, I didn't really do much content on it. And the reason why is I'm just so bogged down with time with Zelda and my home arcades and Call of Duty on my PlayStation 5, and even still trying to beat Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I still got a bunch of PlayStation 5 games I bought last Black Friday that I still haven't even opened yet. Like Guardians of the Galaxy that I want to get into. I just don't really have the time for Street Fighter 6 right now. And also the money, it's like $70, and why spend the $70 right now if I don't have the time? So, I'm always kind of do this with my gaming, is I'll limit myself to what I have time to do. And when games start stacking up, and I've got games that are still in the cellophane wrap that I haven't opened yet because I haven't had the time, that's when I start making those decisions. Well, I can't buy Street Fighter 6 right now. It just doesn't make sense. And that's where I'm at. But it is one that I'm really excited about. I'm going to still watch content of other people playing it because I like the game. I want to learn more about it. And maybe I'll get in on this one in a month from now or 2 months from now. Or maybe I'll wait till the next edition comes out, which has the DLC and the extra characters. I noticed Sagat's not in it. And Sagat's my favorite character in Street Fighter. It was one of the ones I was best with in Street Fighter 5. And I noticed he's not in 6 yet. I imagine he'll be one of the downloadable characters here very soon, though. But let's look at this video. This is just a short, like minute and a half long video. And what I found really cool about this was, so the original 8 Street Fighter 2 characters are in this game, all 8. And they brought back all their original costumes as well. And this video kind of shows off all the Street Fighter 2 nostalgia that we get from Street Fighter in this video. So let's look at it.
Ready? Then show me.
I'm number 1!
Nowhere to run.
Bring the heat!
Beginning operation. What are you waiting for? Time to meet your maker. Locked on. I'm ready.
Hope you're not a sore loser.
The pleasure is mine.
Let me have some fun.
Do you need to take a rest?
I may need a second helping.
In ruins.
Drop this up. Too slow.
Stay! Street Fighter 6.
So that's the Street Fighter 6 trailer I found today. And it started off with all the original characters, but showing all the new characters as well. Some of those look pretty interesting to play with. I think of all the characters I've seen so far, Cammy's probably going to be the one that I'm best with. I would always play with Sagat or Cammy. Those were my two go-tos. So I'm glad to see they at least included Cammy from the beginning. But I saw Carl's comment come through during that. He said, I enjoy the arcade and console content. I missed it, Biggie D's live stream gaming. That's something I did really early on with my channels. I do a lot of live streaming, just playing video games. And I'd have the chat up and I'd have the video where you guys could still see me. And those were a lot of fun. I used to do them every week. I was thinking about, in lieu of doing a chill and chat tonight, doing one of those with maybe Zelda or maybe my iiRcade. So maybe I'll do that next Sunday, or maybe I'll fit it in between now and next Sunday. But I want to get at least another live stream in very soon. It's something I enjoy too. And if you guys like watching it, I'm all about it. And I've got lots of stuff I can live stream. But on the Street Fighter 6, so there was something that really interested me when I first heard about Street Fighter 6 a few months ago, and I had reported on this. But they were making an arcade cabinet. So this would be the first arcade cabinet for Street Fighter since Street Fighter 3. And this one they're doing in partnership with Taito. And I had found this image here. It actually appeared back in February at the Japan Amusement Expo. So this is what it looks like. It's like a candy cab. but it's got 8-button layout. So this is like the first Street Fighter arcade cabinet with an 8-button layout. And it's also got this service. It's called Taito's Nessica X Live Service, or Nessica X Live Service, which enables players to connect their Capcom IDs to carry over their purchase content between the arcade and the console versions. So if you guys were watching B-Kongs tonight, he has like his account. He was adding people and adding friends through that. You can transfer that to the arcade cabinet as well. Log in there, save all your scores. All your fights will be recorded as well on the arcade cabinet. Now this thing is coming towards the end of 2023, so we'll probably start seeing it in November, December of this year. It'll be a Japan cabinet, but I think some of these will get over to the States. I'm hoping it's a big hit here in the United States, and we can start seeing these regularly at arcades. Because if you guys go into like Dave & Buster's or an arcade today, they've kind of given up on the joystick and button traditional arcade cabinets. You don't really see those much anymore. It's all drivers or racers and shooters. Very rarely do you see a brand new arcade cabinet with the joystick and buttons. So it's good to see them making a new modern game that's going to be popular like Street Fighter in an arcade cabinet. And I'm hoping these show up in the States and we can start playing them here. And let's get arcades, traditional arcades, popular again. And I think this is one way to do it. Carlo said Blanca is his favorite character. Some of these other characters look silly to him. I think some of them are look a little silly, but I won't judge any of them or any of that until I play it, because you know, some of these characters may be some of my favorites. And everyone is always a little reluctant on Street Fighters when you bring in new characters. I remember when Street Fighter 3 came out, no one wanted to play it because it didn't have any of the original characters on it. But now looking back on it, it's one of my favorite Street Fighters for that reason. So I'm about them bringing in new characters, and they did it right with this one. They kept the original 8, and then they brought in 8 new characters, and then of course we'll get new characters later on with DLC, and hopefully some original characters back as well. Lisa's Retro Lounge says this looks pretty good. And Atran Fanatic, Guile and Ken were my fighters, even though I've never been very good at those games. Ken and Ryu are always they seem to always get those characters in there. They're the face of the franchise. And of course Chun-Li as well is also up there. But very cool. Street Fighter 6. Hopefully I can get this game soon. Money's getting a little tight for me right now with the purchase of my plane ticket, my hotel, getting my iiRcade, my AtGames, fixing my Attack from Mars, getting Zelda, you know, all the other expenses in life. Things just are adding up. So I've got to kind of watch my money. So I'm hoping I can get into Street Fighter 6 here very soon, though. But I'm going to have to be conservative and save some of my money right now. So if you guys are seeing content on games or arcades, it's going to be what I have right now for the most part. Nothing new. Unless some company out there wants to send me something free, I'll review it. But other than that, it'll be what I have right now. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the stream tonight. Everyone who's made it, I really appreciate it. You know, I do these week in and week out. So there'll be weeks probably that aren't as good as the week before because we'll just be on a lack of news or a lack of content. But I'll always be here at least for an hour with you guys just to discuss whatever. And even like I'd said, maybe a gameplay live stream. Maybe one Sunday if I feel like we're kind of short on news or don't have enough, I'll just do a gameplay live stream. But I appreciate you guys watching. Definitely like. If you haven't subscribed, do that because I'm almost to 1,000. I've already passed the hours required to get monetized. I just need like the 98 subscribers now. So I'm that close. And I'm going to give away a Arcade 1-Up Countercade. It's going to cost me about $200, but I want to give that back to you guys because you're the reason why I'm here at almost 1,000. So I want to give back, and contest is always the best way. That's the fairest way to give back. But I'll see everyone in the next video. Bye-bye.